Hello there! If you've ever wanted speed, burst, and unlimited spells, then Flashburn is the build for you. Let's begin! For the spells, the first one that we're gonna use is Veil of Chaos. You dash towards an input direction and elude nearby enemies for 2.2 seconds. Your next primary attack will heal you for 5% of your maximum health, will inflict Ignite, and will allow you to recast the ability to dash once again. Your illusion will explode, it will deal 50% magic damage to nearby enemies, and it will inflict Ignite when the effect ends. Ignite basically burns your enemies with Chaos Flames, deals 50% magic damage over 5 seconds. It will trigger an explosion that deals 50% magic damage when the target affected by Ignite perishes. The second spell that we're gonna use from this school is Aftershock. You smash the ground, causing a shockwave that erupts, dealing 140% magic damage in a line, and you will also inflict Ignite. Now we can move to the third spell. It's from the Storm School and it's called Ball Lightning. You launch a Ball Lightning that lingers in place, periodically shocking nearby enemies, inflicting static, deals up to 180% magic damage per target over 3 seconds. Ball Lightning's total damage cannot exceed 450% magic damage. It explodes after the duration, dealing 50% magic damage in the area, but we can increase this with the jewels later. The ultimate spell is also from the Storm School, is the Raging Tempest one. You dash forward and bounce between nearby enemies, striking them for a total of 525% magic damage, split across targets within the area over 3 seconds. Additionally, strikes all enemies in the area up to 4 times, dealing 50% magic damage and inflicting static. Afterward, you dash towards your aim direction. You can attack to end this effect early though. For the spell jewels, since this is an endgame build, we're gonna use the jewel tier 4. For the Veil of Chaos, I've chosen the following effects: to increase the damage of my next primary attack, to increase the damage done when an illusion explodes, when hitting a target affected by Ignite, to engulf the target in agonizing flame, to deal damage and also heal yourself of a percentage of your spell power. And also for the fourth effect, I've chosen to spawn a second illusion when recasting, which deals a lower percentage of the original damage. For the Aftershock one, I've chosen the following effects: to increase the projectile range, to reduce the cooldown of the spell, the initial wave inflicts a fading snare on enemy's hit, and to increase its damage output. For the Ball Lightning one, I've chosen the following 4 effects: to recast, to detonate the orb early. I mentioned this before, the explosion will deal increased damage if you detonate early. For the second effect, to increase the damage per shock, to increase the projectile range, and also to consume static to stun enemies when the orb explodes. I think these effects are really great, and we can move on to the passives. Since this is an end game, you will have all passive slots unlocked. For the first one, I've chosen Renewing Flames. You deal 8% increased spell damage to enemies affected by Ignite, and Ignite heals you for up to 25% of your spell power. The second one that I've chosen is called Lightning Fast Strikes. You increase the primary attack speed by 7%, and static triggers deals 20% increased damage. The third one that I've chosen is Chaos Kindling. You increase the spell cooldown rate by 7%, and Ignite deals 25% increased damage, and Chaos Explosions ignites enemies' hit. From the higher tier of passives, I've chosen Rampage, which increases physical critical chance by 8%, and physical critical strikes grants 12% increased attack speed for 4 seconds. You're gonna see later why this is important. And the last one is Little Strikes. It increases the physical critical power by 8%, and you deal 12% increased physical damage to enemies below 30% health. All these passives are meant to increase our critical strikes, both physical and magic, and to increase our self-sustain and damage output. For the weapon, I think you can see here, I've chosen the pistols. I'm wearing the legendary ones called the Endbringers, and they have ability modification of Panda Hammer to allow you to move while channeling at 40% movement speed, and hits will inflict Ignite. For the explosive bullet, the ability modification allows you to recast a second shot. Hitting the same target triggers the explosion instantly, dealing 75% additional damage and inflicting Ignite. Let me showcase this to you. For Panda Hammer, you can see that we can channel and move. For explosive bullet, if I cast it, you can see that I have a recast bar and I can cast it again, and the same target receives a lot of damage. The attributes that I've chosen in the Fusion Forge are to increase my spell critical chance, to increase my spell critical power, and to gain bonus physical power. Since this is a hybrid build, we want a lot of stats from everything. For the armor, I'm wearing the Dracula's Shadow Regalia, which increases movement speed by 4%, increases spell cooldown rate by 7%, and you also gain 12% physical critical chance and 6% movement speed for 4 seconds after using a veil. Each piece provides provides us with even more physical critical chance, and it's very useful for mobility, for speed, and for additional increase of critical chance and movement speed. If you don't have this, you can wear the Shadow Moon vestment set. It's a lesser version of the Dracula Shadow one. For the jewelry, I've chosen the Amulet of the Wicked Prophet. It increases spell power, reduces blood drain rate, and provides us with 5% spell life leech. And I've chosen this because, most importantly, it will provide us with lesser power surge. So we have power surge to increase our attack speed and movement speed every 10 seconds. The percentage is really high because the guns are really fast. Now, about the blood type, I've chosen a mix of Rogue as the base and Draculan with the second trait. This blood will provide us with physical critical chance, increased physical critical power with movement speed and additional speed when striking a killing blow, increased veil cooldown rate, physical critical chance after using a veil, and 50% chance on critical strike to expose victim's armor, which increases the damage taken from all sources by 15% for 4 seconds. This is really nice from the Rogue blood. From the Draculan blood, I've chosen the trait that provides us with spell critical chance and spell hits to grant 8% movement speed for 3 seconds. I have only chosen this for the increased spell critical chance because we're not using targeted spells, so the movement speed won't work, but we're gonna reach the maximum anyway from the other sources. And also, the Draculan blood will provide us with spell critical strike hits to increase spell cooldown rate by 40% for 3 seconds. This is an awesome blood for this build. For the consumables, as I mentioned in my previous videos, always have a blood rose potion on you. It's really nice for healing. Now we can use Potion of Rage, which increases physical power by 5 for 60 minutes, and also the Witch Potion, which increases spell power by 5 for 60 minutes as well. For the Elixir, I've chosen the Elixir of the Werewolf, which increases attack speed by 7% and weapon skill power by 8 for 60 minutes. You can only have one Elixir active at a time. For the weapon coating, I've chosen the Chaos Coating, because the next primary attack will trigger a Chaos Explosion, dealing 50% magic damage in an area and inflicting Ignite. The coating effects can recharge every 12 seconds and the coating lasts for 60 minutes. So I suggest using this one. Now for the combos. This build is meant to increase our physical power, attack speed, weapon skill power, our spell critical chance and power, to increase our movement speed, and to increase our spell leech and the cooldown rates of the spells and the veil. All these effects will be increased to reach the maximum or near maximum when we're using spells and from the passives. So let me showcase this to you. The first thing that we want to do is cast Ball Lightning, then Aftershock, then Proceed. You can recast if you have the jewel, and you can see here I've gotten the power surge. You can cast the spells of the weapon, you can dodge this and recast it on the same target for even more damage, and the cooldowns are really low, so we can continue casting. We can use the veil, and you can also recast it, cast this, recast it, and that's about it. It's a really fast-paced build, which I really like. You can get sustain, you can get a lot of damage and a lot of critical strikes, which is really enjoyable. And after all said and done, after recasting, we can cast the ultimate and basically destroy everything in the area. You're not moving your fingers off the keyboard. And in my opinion, that's the fun part of this build. So that's it about this build. I have a lot of fun playing it. I haven't played the guns before, and I really enjoy it because it's very fast-paced, it's doing a lot of damage, and you're getting some good sustain as well. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'm doing a lot of V-Rising and other gaming content. It would mean a lot to me. So, as I said, I hope you had fun, and I'll see you in the next one.